like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, y'all, I'm back with another flashback. This video features Tron, aka Logan. Guys, I am still diligently working on getting all of my content re-uploaded onto YouTube with my commentary so that I can meet the YouTube guidelines. If you would, please drop me a comment, smash the heck out of that like button, and share. All right, now let's get into this video, guys. Thanks for watching.
Rahubet Nafir Atum Re'e Nafir Atum Re'e. To all of the beings, peace to the gods. Nafir Atum Re'e Nafir Atum Re'e Rahubet. Just tapping in with y'all. What's good? Ashuk. Send divine love to y'all. Everyone that's entering in the building. Rahubet Nafir Atum Re'e. It's getting that sunlight, getting that activation. Early in the AM for me. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Yeah, it's just early in the AM for me, just out here. Getting that sunlight, getting that activation real quick, you know. Very important thing to do, to get your sunlight on. All right, y'all. Peace. So I just wanted to come on here real quick and make a video, a very important and informative video of ways of recharging. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us are drained due to our circumstances, living conditions, our environment, just like the whole Western society and way of living, you know, in this world, the indoctrination, certain practices.
I just want to apologize for the placement of my channel name. This is when I was first starting out, and I didn't really realize how important the comments are. I'm looking at my channel name covering the comments, and I'm pissed off. So please, I ask for your forgiveness. Thank you.
World, the indoctrination, certain practices that we perform, certain rituals that we perform each and every day. A lot of people don't understand that, you know, the things that you do habitually, your habits, are actually repetitive patterns. And the correlation between the word repetitive and ritual, they're synonymous with each other. So what you do on a repetitive basis actually becomes a ritual. Like people that get up every single day, then what do? They might brush their teeth, right? That's a ritual, right? It's a ritual because you're doing something. If you know what a ritual is a sequence of events that you perform or that you do. It's more commonly depicted in like movies and, you know, all of these, cinema TV shows and movies as something that's like witchcraft and woo. When actually it's just something very common, and it's something that we do on a daily basis, but we don't understand that we're performing or practicing rituals, right? So like I just gave an example, you get up in the AM, you shower, you brush your teeth, and then a lot of y'all just turn that pot of coffee on, right? You might go outside to smoke a cigarette in between the pot of coffee, you know what I'm saying? And then you might go to your kitchen, and then you might start cooking you some unborn fetus, you know what I'm saying? You start cooking you some egg, and then you start, with the egg, you start to, put the ham or the swine in there, you know what I'm saying? You start to cook you some swine, which is pig for anyone that doesn't know, right? And then you eat that, right? And that's a ritual. And I'm not attacking anyone that eats that type of, diet. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm just letting you see and letting you show you how that's a ritual, right? Another common way for us to understand rituals through the avenue of what I'm giving as an example, which is the kitchen, is when you cook soup, right? What's the thing that we see, or the number one thing that we have been programmed with our mind when we think ritual in the Western world? Because of the modern day media and the movies, we think of a witch with a pointy hat. She has a broomstick, and then she's got this big old pot, right? She got this big old pot, and then she's asking for ingredients. And as she's asking for ingredients, she's putting it in the pot. And in the pot, there's always some type of liquid in there. And it's always dark at nighttime. And she's always stirring it up, and she's saying something as she's cooking, right? That's a ritual. That's what our mind automatically goes to because of cinema, because of the depiction of how media has painted in our minds of what a ritual is, right? Mind you, that is a ritual. But that's not the only way for us to see rituals. You feel what I'm saying? And if you look at it, we actually do that on a regular basis. For those that cook soup, every Saturday or every Sunday. I know those Sunday or Saturday soups be slamming, right? So I know a lot of people be getting them Saturday or Sunday soups. And what do? They cook up something, you know what I'm saying? They might put some beef in there. They might put some ham hock in there. You feel what I'm saying? They put it in the pot, and then they stir it up, right? That's what they do. And then you put the vegetables up in there. You put the water in there. Probably like maybe 16 ounces of water or more, right? If you're making like a soup for just you and one other person. And then you're in there and you're whipping it up in the kitchen, and you got this big old pot, right? That is a ritual. That's synonymous with what witches do when we see them in the cinemas, when they have this big old pot and they're stirring up a stew, right? And what a lot of us don't know is that when you're in the kitchen, your thoughts and your feelings channel into the food. You feel what I'm saying? So that's another way for us to understand that you cast spells upon your food. Just like they cast spells upon the thing that they be brewing up in order for them to make a potion, or in order for them to make an elixir, right, that we see in the movies. That's really what you're doing when you cook food for your loved ones. When women are in the kitchen and they're cooking food for your loved ones, or if men are in the kitchen and you're cooking food for the loved ones, your energy will go into the food. These are rituals. You are a magic being. You feel what I'm saying? And the reason I'm bringing this up is for us to become more aware of our habitual patterns. Become more aware of our rituals. Because you perform these rituals every single day. Every single day you are performing a ritual. Whatever you do habitually, that's second nature to you, that is a ritual. You are performing a ritual. You are casting a spell. You feel what I'm saying? And it's important for us to understand this, because we now have to get in the pattern of shifting our mind, because a lot of the things that we're doing, we're casting spells upon ourselves, and we don't even understand how these spells that we're casting from our habitual patterns are affecting our everyday life. Because what we do in this reality affects the unseen reality. So if I'm cooking up meat in my kitchen, really what I'm doing on a metaphysical level is I'm actually attracting certain spirits, certain energies. That's why they talk about bad juju. You know what I'm saying? When they talk about bad juju, when they talk about spirits, this stuff is very real. And the things that we do actually channel and attract and open up gateways and portals for these beings to enter in.
I definitely feel sorry for Tron, aka Logan, because he was with Nature Boy, aka Eligio Bishop, aka Three God, for a very long time, and he did not receive any counseling. Couldn't have, because he joined another cult. He's now with the Nawapians, guys.
And portals for these beings to enter in. Through the sense of smell, you can attract certain beings that can come into your life, into your reality, and they can hang around. There's disembodied spirits, beings that never made it outside the gate. You feel what I'm saying? When I say outside the gate, I'm saying when we transition, everyone's given an opportunity, or those beings that are given opportunities to do right here on earth, on Taha, so that they can leave, so they can travel with their soul, so their soul can leave. But a lot of beings didn't make the cut. They weren't able to exit this reality. They weren't able to exit the earth. You feel what I'm saying? They didn't understand the ancient sciences and the ancient wisdom and information in order for us to understand how to prepare for travel, how to prepare ourselves for travel, the deeds, the labors that must be performed. Just like when they talk about Hercules being a demigod, and he had 12 labors to perform in order for him to reach the heavens with Zeus. These are all mythology, folklore. We also know that the Greek mythology actually stems from ancient Egypt, meaning that people that were Roman and Greeks got their mythology and their gods, the Olympian gods, they got.
All right, y'all. If you haven't picked up your copy of Greatness is a Habit, authored by Aaron Dixon, otherwise known as True. Many of you know him as True. He is an ex-Carbonation member, and he's authored this amazing read. If you are interested in self-development and growth, this book is a good one for you. It's available on Apple Books for $1, guys. I got my copy and I love this book.
All of that comes from Egypt. You feel what I'm saying? So we can look at the interpretation of that, and we can see how synonymous it is when we're talking about Osiris, Set, Anubis, Amun, Ra. You know what I'm saying? These are our ancient ancestors. These are ancient beings that are tied to our bloodline. You feel me? And there are certain practices, rituals, certain spiritual practices that we perform to keep us in alignment in order for us to make our exodus, meaning that we can leave Taha, we can leave this planet. But to leave this planet, you first have to go within, because you can't. It's not like you build a spaceship and you leave. No, the physical body being, this is just an avatar, a vehicle for you to utilize and animism, right? Look that up. For y'all that don't know, look that up, animism. You animate this body with your spirit and your soul. Your soul is animating this body. So as you are animating this body here on earth, this animation does not go with you when you leave, because you're leaving in a less dense form. Your soul is in a less dense form. It's not the physical. It's a less dense, so it's able to pass through certain barriers. People talk about the firmament. That's why a lot of people have, conspiracies about, oh, did we actually leave? And you know what I'm saying? Did we go to the moon? Did we do this? Did we do that? People are confused about that because they're talking about the firmament. Just like this, let me give you an example. There's actually a scientist who went to the depths of the ocean. You know how they say, as above, so below, as within, so without. So a scientist went to the depths of the ocean, and at one part of the depths of the ocean, what they found using some technology is they actually found an underwater lake or an underwater ocean, meaning that there was an ocean underneath the ocean, and there was a barrier. It's synonymous to like what we're talking about with the firmament, and they couldn't break the barrier. They couldn't get in because the water that was below and underneath the ocean that they saw, it had a barrier. That barrier couldn't be broken by the physical. You feel what I'm saying? You have to be an interdimensional being. These interdimensional beings aren't in the physical. They're able to shapeshift their being. And it's more metaphysical, it's etheric. You feel what I'm saying? It's etheric. We have to understand the ether. That's how we will travel. That's how we will leave here. And we also have to understand that for everything that is physical, there's a metaphysical counterpart. So we have an etheric brain. Our etheric brain, when we tap into certain information and knowledge, is how we will leave and go to other star systems. If anyone that looks on my page, I actually made a post talking about how the only way out is in. In the East, they teach this. In the West, they don't. In the West, they get you to believe in Christ and to be a Christian and monotheism and worship somebody. That's what they teach you in the West. In the East, it's all about going within, because there's information in the East that talks about how our ancestral beings, or the ancient beings that we come from, certain practices that they perform, they understood the connection of the oneness. They understood the connection of the stars out there is actually in here.
Y'all, I don't care what nobody say. Eligio Bishop, a.k.a. Nature Boy, a.k.a. Three God, did a real number on all of these people.
There is actually in here. To get out there, you have to get in here. Meaning you have to unlock certain channels within your brain. These channels are called neurological pathways. There's something called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is an event that happens within your brain when you experience new things. When you experience new events, you unlock certain neurological pathways. These are channels in which your mind can travel through when they are opened. So you have neurological pathways in the brain on a physical sense. And remember, for every physical part, there is a metaphysical counterpart, or a less condensed counterpart. So you have a brain, and then you have an etheric brain. So essentially, the brain waves and the channels that you unlock within your own brain through neuroplasticity will unlock your etheric brain, which is connected to your etheric self, your soul. You are a non-ether being. You feel what I'm saying? And the only way to unlock these channels within your brain that connect to the etheric channels that are connected to your soul, which is what you use to travel, to leave, because you're not leaving through the physical because of the ferment, right? As they depict. I'm not here to go back and forth about, all of that. I would love to hear other people's perspectives, about how people feel about, the traveling and, going to other dimensions and stuff of that nature. But what I'm relaying to you is that some of the beings that be traveling through other dimensions, they're etheric beings. They're shapeshifters, they're etheric beings. I mean, they have etheric body. You feel what I'm saying? They're not so physical. Not saying that there was never physical beings that never came down here in certain crafts and shams and, UFO sightings and things of that nature. I'm not saying that. But even those beings are using quantum science to be able to transmit themselves, to be able to travel. They're using quantum science to beam them up, Scotty. You feel what I'm saying? They're moving through time gates, stargates. That's how they're traveling. They're moving through stargates. They're not breaking no barrier. You have to break the sound barrier. You break the sound barrier, you get to the atmosphere, and once you get the atmosphere, you get the stratosphere, and once you get it all the way up until you enter outer space. That's not how it's happening. These beings have a high level of science. So they can take their physical being, utilizing an apparatus, much like a sham or a UFO, and they can speed that apparatus up at a high velocity in order for them to travel through a stargate, because they have certain technology in order for their devices or their technology that can, travel through realms, through realities, interdimensionally. It's a higher level of intelligence. It's a higher level of technology. You feel what I'm saying? But that's not the only way of traveling. We can actually turn our being into a spaceship and travel via the soul and leave. Meaning that this body would be preserved here on Taha, Earth. That's why in ancient Egypt they had tombs. The tombs were to preserve the bodies or the katat of certain beings that came down here. because they had ancient information on learning how to clone. They had information of cloning. So if they ever needed to come back down to Earth and they weren't in the physical form, they could take a piece of the DNA from the tombs, from the mummies that they preserved, and then they can reclone themselves. You feel what I'm saying? To make a device or a being that would be compatible with their DNA in order for their soul to inhabit or animate the body. Because each soul is connected through genetics, because everything that is physical has a metaphysical counterpart. You understand what I'm saying? So this is higher level science. This is why we have to start practicing and performing certain spiritual practices, which are rituals, which is something that we do habitually, repetitively, each and every day. If you get up and you're smoking a cigarette, guess what? You're creating a pattern, a habitual pattern, a bad one at that, because what that does is that actually affects your lungs. And then eventually your lungs will go bad. Once your lungs go bad, which are large major organs that are filtration systems for your body, once those go bad, then your body will slowly start to deteriorate, which is why it's important for us to understand how to take care of this vessel, this being. You feel what I'm saying? It's very important. This is higher level information, higher level science. I just want to give you this to spark the mind.
Tron, aka Logan, I don't feel like this is higher level science, and I don't feel that it will spark my mind at all. You are currently just regurgitating information that you learned from Eligio Bishop, aka Nature Boy, aka Three God, and now Malachi Z. York.
The mind. Because we're entering into another paradigm shift. In this paradigm shift that we're entering into is unlocking more information. And the more information that is unlocked is the more information that needs to be applied. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I've been doing the last couple of days, is really applying the information that has been coming to my mind through meditation, through reading, through chanting, speaking a different language. As you can hear, I have the Om chant. The reason why I play the Om chant and I play certain sound frequencies is because your body is made up of bones that vibrate, much like the materials that were made up of the ancient pyramids, known as limestone. Limestone is a transmitter of sound waves, a great transmitter of sound waves. That's why if you ever get some limestone and you hold it in your palm of your hand on the center point, and you were to hit it with another piece of limestone, you're gonna hear that thing ding. It's gonna ring. You feel what I'm saying? You're gonna hear it ring. It might be a lower frequency, but you're gonna hear it ring. Now, when they made the pyramids, in the way that they made the pyramids, which is not a pyramid, it's actually a diamond. The way that they did it is they actually had a hollow piece at the top. So when wind blows over the hollow piece, it makes a noise. Much like this. You see this bottle? It's kind of like a pyramid shape. When wind blows over it,
All right, y'all. If you haven't picked up your copy of Greatness is a Habit, authored by Aaron Dixon, otherwise known as True, many of you know him as True. He is an ex-Carbonation member, and he's authored this amazing read. If you are interested in self-development and growth, this book is a good one for you. It's available on Apple Books for $1, guys. I got my copy and I love this book.
That's what's happening to the pyramids. So the pyramids are vibrating, much like you just heard me blow on this bottle and it made a noise. At the top of the pyramid is hollow. It's a hollow column. So when you blow over the top of it, or wind blows over the top of it, it's going to make a noise, something like this. You might not hear it because it's so big, and the vibration might be the vibration may be out of your range of hearing. Just like you have a dog whistle. The dog can hear the whistle, but you might not be able to hear the whistle. But the dog whistle is sending out a frequency that's affecting the reality around it. And how you know this is because you can blow that dog whistle, and you can blow it next to some water, and you can actually take a microscope and look at the molecular structure of water and how it changes when certain vibrations are played around it, because water transmits sound and it transmits light. So like I said, with this, that's what's happening to the pyramids. So the reason I bring this to your attention is because this higher level science is something that we need to understand, so we can really get an idea and know what's going on here. You feel what I'm saying? There's a lot of incredible and fascinating things that are happening on the planet right now that we have to start attuning ourselves into, so that we can be ready for the shift. Different frequencies. Absolute. Hey, Rahobet to everyone that's in the room. If y'all can hear me, let me know if y'all can hear me. I don't know if the sound was going in and out. Hold on.
All right, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this video as well as my commentary. Please drop me a comment, smash the heck out of that like button, and share this video. I want to say welcome to all of my new subscribers. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. To all of my OGs, my day ones, my ride or dies, big up yourself. We in the building with it.